guys, so this is my current desk setup for filming when I'm doing a tutorial or something like that. This is where, this is how I'm going to set up my lights and the camera. So as you can see, it's not great. I don't have a good angle for showing stuff on the table while I can still see my face. You know, if you watch tech YouTubers like Carl Conrad, MKBHD, lots of their videos you can see their whole face and the table. So like if they're doing a review, you can see the phone in front of them on the table and their face, you know, they're sitting down at the table. So that's kind of what I want to do. So before I get into the main topic of this video, I'm just going to move my desk back a little bit so then I can put my camera either on this side or the other side when I'm filming. I haven't decided which side I'm going to have the camera on, but we'll figure that out. So I'm going to move my desk back, set up a time lapse, and then we will get into the main topic of this video. Alright, let's see how this looks. Probably going to need to raise the camera a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty good. Alright, should be good now. I'm just going to sit down and see how it looks. What is up, guys? My name is Brandon, and in this video we are going to be talking about iOS 12 and the new changes and features that are coming with it. So first off, iOS 12 will be released this fall to an open beta program. It is available now for developers, although you do have to have a $99 a month developer account for Apple to get that update. There are a few free ways to download it, which I'm going to try in this video to see if I can get it. iOS 12 is more focused on performance and a few new features for iPhone 10, but not a whole lot other than that. So let's first go over the new changes in iOS 12. So again, one of the main changes in iOS 12 is for performance, especially under larger workloads when you have multiple apps trying to run at the same time. Apple claims that they will open 2 times faster under a higher workload. Apple also says that the camera and keyboard will load much faster with iOS 12. They also added support for up to 32 people on FaceTime at once in one call, so that's very nice, so you can talk to multiple friends through FaceTime at once, which is very nice. Been looking for that for a long time. iOS 12 also features a new Animoji called Memoji, which is basically just an Animoji that is tuned to your face so it looks like you. They also added 4 new Animoji presets, so they added like a dinosaur and things like that. Another big change for the camera is camera effects, kind of similar to Snapchat or Instagram filters, like GIFs on your camera, things like that. So Apple is really trying to step up their game with the camera, trying to add new things to that, which is a very good thing to see. Augmented reality has also gotten a ton of new improvements. One of the main improvements to augmented reality is to be able to share your own augmented reality experience with others, so you can play a multiplayer game in the same environment. So like if you have 2 friends at a table, one friend is on this side and one friend is on this side, they can both be looking at the table and seeing the same things. So you can have like strategy or action games, and both people will be able to see what's going on at the same time in real time. So that's a big improvement to ARKit and augmented reality for iOS users. A big change although it does only work, I believe, with iPhone 7 and up. Apple also released more parental controls and usage statistics in settings, so you can check on your kids' progress and have more settings like a time limit for video games and things like that, which is a very welcome addition to iOS 12. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, and most requested change in iOS 12 is grouped notifications. We have been asking for this for forever from Apple, and they have just now delivered in iOS 12. Now in iOS 12, your notifications from the same application will be grouped into one, so you don't have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to find the notification that you want to see. You can just find the app, click on it, and it will open up all your notifications from just that app. Apple has also added improvements to the Photos application, adding a new For You section that recommends pictures to share to others. Apple has also redesigned the search function on that Photos app so you can search pictures by people or by date or location. Although there were many leaks that Apple would be adding many new features to Siri in this update, those did not come to fruition, which means we'll likely see them in iOS 13. Although there were a few updates to Siri in this update. One of the big updates to Siri in this update was Shortcuts. This new feature allows the user to create a command and decide what that command triggers. So it's kind of like Workflow, which is another Apple application, so they're kind of just bringing that natively onto iOS. So basically, like if you want to create a shortcut called Getting Home, and which makes it so when you say, Siri, I'm driving home, it will give you directions to home, turn on your lights, and set the thermostat. That's just an example of something you could do with a shortcut. There's going to be all kinds of shortcuts that you can create, and third-party applications will get access to this so they can create their own shortcuts for you to mess around and play with. Although this hasn't been fully implemented yet in the first iOS 12 beta, there are a few shortcuts that were already created for you to use. So this is a very nice feature to have, especially for people who have habits of doing the same thing over and over on their phones. It just makes it easier and quicker to get to the things you want to do on your phone. There are a bunch of other features that I won't mention in this video, but one last thing I'm going to go over is iOS 12 is going to be available for every phone from the iPhone 10 and up, all the way down to the iPhone 5S. Which is crazy to think about because when did the 5S come out? Apple released the iPhone 5S September 2013, which was almost 5 years ago. And it's crazy to think that the 5S is still getting the most recent update from Apple. So hopefully Apple will be able to keep up with this and keep giving older phones their most recent updates and even giving them updates for longer. That would be great to see, so people with older phones would be able to keep up with everything, would be able to keep up with the new updates and things like that. So now that I've got all the new features out of the way, now I'm going to start trying to download iOS 12 for free on my iPad. So I haven't really figured out how to do this yet, so I'm going to just Google it. Alright, so I found a link. I'll put it in the description if it works, so I'm going to try this out to see if it does work. And it looks like it is going to work. Let's try it. So you're just going to click slow download once you get to this website, and then it's going to ask, this website is trying to open settings, should you allow this as a configuration profile? And just hit allow, and it should take you immediately to the settings application. And it's going to have a pop-up that's going to ask install profile. You're just going to hit install. Type in your passcode. And make sure you don't have the iOS 11 beta profile installed as well, because you are going to have to delete that. And once you type in your passcode, it's going to ask for consent. Just hit install again and install one more time, and then restart your iPad. You're also going to need to plug in your device if it has less than 50% power, and you are going to need to be on Wi-Fi if you are not already. So now it's just the same process as any other update. You're going to restart your iPad once it comes back on, go into settings, general, updates, and check for updates. It's going to load and it'll show your iOS 12 update notification, and just update it just like any other normal iOS update. Alright, so once you finish updating, you'll get a software update notification. So just hit the home button, type in your password, and it will say update complete. Hit continue. And as you can see, one of the first things that I did notice is it does say the date on the top left now. So it's going to say 8:53 Tuesday, June 5th. And then once you hit continue, it'll say welcome to iPad or iPhone if you have an iPhone. So here is iOS 12. You can see right off the bat that a new application has been added called Voice Memos. It also has a new logo that's different from the old one. Voice Memos was added to iPad in iOS 12, so you're going to see that. And that is going to be the only new app that you're going to see on an iPad. So next, let's go into settings and check out the new settings. You will see a new menu item called Screen Time when you go into settings. And you can see the name of the iPad, and you'll see how much screen time you have used. And then there's 4 menu items here: downtime, app limits, always allowed, content and privacy restrictions. So if you want to limit the time you can use a certain app, you can do that in the app limits. Downtime is when the device will shut off in certain time periods. Always allowed is just the apps that you're going to always want allowed. And then content and privacy restrictions is just to block inappropriate content. And after your first day of usage, you will see statistics on the screen time section. And other than that, I believe that's the only main difference. Let's see if they added new wallpapers. Oh, they did. So they have a new wallpaper for iOS 12. Looks like that might be the only one. I'm not sure if these flowers are new or not. So this, I believe, is the only new wallpaper, and the dynamic ones are still here as well. Another new feature, as I said earlier, is in the Photos application. They added a new menu item which is called For You. And if you click that, you can see shared album activity and sharing suggestions, as well as all of your memories. There's also new additions to the search feature, which will let you search for things, and it will show recommendations. So if you want to search for like football pictures, you can just hit football, and all your football photos will appear. And then just hit cancel. Sports, you can search for mountains. So in this new update, Apple is really trying to be able to distinguish what pictures are and where they should go, so you can search for more generic terms and you will still be able to find your results. You can also, of course, search for places. And that's pretty much it for the Photos application. And of course, if you do have a newer device, you will be able to use the new ARKit updates. And I'm not going to go over the FaceTime because it's pretty self-explanatory, being able to call multiple people in the same FaceTime call. Well guys, that's it for this video. If you did like it, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. But if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified of when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget to check out my Instagram account, bdp.tech, where I post behind the scenes, tech news, things like that, so you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.